Right, who picked this movie?
It was the Booby movie.
Who picked the Booby movie? It was Evan, wasn't it? Yeah.
Me, Your Honour.
Can I ask why you picked it, Ev? What's the reasoning?
I don't know.
Defend yourself, Ev. Not that you have to, because the whole point of it was bad.
I don't know. It was just I just thought of it. I was thinking of films I saw when I was a kid the other day, and I just thought it was one of George Clooney's first ones. I thought it can't be that bad, surely.
So have you seen it? You haven't seen it before, have you?
Oh yeah.
Right.
I watched it when I was a kid.
Right, okay.
Watched it regularly. Yeah, and I thought it can't be a booby film, but I just thought I'd throw it in there. And some parts all right, but the majority were just. I'm
gonna say this now.
Sorry, man.
No, go on. You go, Prog.
I was just going to ask Ev, did you like it when you were younger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this was the first time I'd seen it in. I'd say well over 30 years. But yeah, it hasn't aged well.
What's the saying? When is it? I'm gonna put my colours to the mast or whatever. Yeah.
I'm gonna plant my flag in the ground, or
whatever the saying is, right? This for me is the worst film we've done on this podcast.
Whoa, no. Whoa.
So does that mean it's the worst film you've ever seen?
I'm trying to think of a worse film. Right, worst maybe isn't the correct word to use, but it's the film I got the least amount of enjoyment from.
You got more enjoyment out of Mac and Me than this film.
I did. If you remember, I was trying to defend Mac and Me, but I got shot down at every point by you guys. Don't get me wrong, Mac and Me is bad.
OMFG.
But it's
a film.
It's a film. It's notoriously bad. And for that reason, I was sort of maybe more willing to accept it. Do you know what the issue I have with this movie? It's a poor man's Police Academy. And
you all know what I thought about Police Academy.
I love Police Academy. I probably love the first 5 of them. And that's, and I know they're all bad. But I love them because of the nostalgia that I've got with them.
I think we should rewatch a couple of the other Police Academies. Or shall I say, I think you should rewatch them and do a couple of podcasts on your own about them.
I'm going to do a video where you rank them, whatever that sort of like score is, where it's a really weird one where you give the top one like an S, don't you?
Yeah. I tell you what you could do, and is you could record yourself 2 different occasions, one asking the questions, the other one answering, and you can mesh that into a video.
But yeah, look, for me, I didn't enjoy this at all. I was just going all the way through, going, poor man's Mahoney. Yeah, all the way through. I just didn't get this movie at all. So I had never seen it before. I'd never even heard of it before Evan had said. There was a lot of faces I recognized. I recognized, is it Perry? The one guy, he's in CSI. He plays, I think, David in CSI Vegas. I recognized the other guy. What's his name? What's the other lead character called?
Keith Gordon.
Yeah, but what's his last name, though? Mandelson or something like that, is it?
Oh. Mendelsohn,
right? I recognized his face, and then obviously George Clooney's in it as well. It's got some factors which I quite liked, and we'll come on to them in a minute, but I just really got no enjoyment from this film at all.
You didn't recognize Perry's dad?
Oh, he was John Ratzenberger. Yeah, I was racking my brains. I don't know what I'd seen it from. And of course, Cheers. And he's the guy that's like in every Pixar movie, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I'll shut up for a moment. There are my thoughts on it. Don't need to say anymore. Prog, had you seen it before?
Yes, I had, but I'd seen it a couple of times when I was younger, and think I'm right in saying that I actually think my brother had this on DVD at one time.
What?
Whoa.
The
Yeah.
fact you can get it on DVD is worrying.
Did you like it though when you were younger?
Do you know? I can't remember. I watched it a few times, so I must have found something in it. I must have. I'm like you, and sorry. I think I'm like you, Ev, where there are moments in this film rewatching it that I was like, I remember that. And I think and there were a couple of moments where I was like, I distinctly remember that scene, remember that moment, I remember that happening. It was weird to rewatch it, having not watched it for, I don't know, decades. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but decades. Do you want me to let you know what I think right now?
Go on.
I think this is terrible. I just, and I actually feel sorry for some of the people involved in it, because I actually think some of the cast are really good.
I feel sorry for everyone who's involved with this movie. It's some good actors there.
Can I say now, right? Keith David. I wish Keith David was in it. Keith Gordon. I don't think anyone has wound me up as much in a film as him. Now
you're gonna have to
that might
remind
not
me.
be-
Which one is Keith Gordon?
he plays
Mendelsohn.
He
Mendelsohn.
plays the funny one.
Oh, issues with this character. Oh my
Right
God.
now, I'm not necessarily blaming Keith Gordon. Right, that I am willing to accept that is the script and that is how he was being directed to play it that way. However, if it was his choice to play it that way, then I won't forgive him. Because it got under my skin how much he got on my nerves.
Can I make a statement here that
Let's just make loads of statements. Come on, man. You go.
for me, I think he is one of the most unlikable lead characters that you'll ever find in a movie.
I'm with you on that.
And I don't mean a character who's supposed to be unlikable. You're supposed to like warm to him and the other character, Perry. And I didn't at all. I just found him like a spoilt brat. He had no sort of respect for authority. And okay, I get that because of the type of character he's trying to play. But like, oh, come on. Ridiculous.
Do you know what it was? Do you know what it was as well, right? The first 40 minutes, there was no opportunity that I felt anyway. There was no opportunity for someone watching it to think, actually, he might be okay. He was on 11 all the way through the first half of the film. He didn't stop jibing or playing pranks or telling everyone that they were wrong and he was right. There was no like minute or brief pause for him to be like, even just him on his own, where he has a look of shit, what am I doing here? Right? That would have let me in. At least I would have had a moment where I'm thinking, okay, you know, he's on it all the time, but for this moment, he's being like, okay, you know, maybe I shouldn't do it this time, right? Take the scene where he's having food with his parents, right? Don't even get me started on his old man. What is the point of that character? Like, oh, everything he does, oh, it's such a laugh. He basically destroyed the school. He could have gone to prison. And his old man is still like, his old man to John Ratzenberger is basically saying, at least my kid got a pair of balls on him. I couldn't handle it. I genuinely couldn't handle it. And the problem with that was the first half. The problem with the first half meant that for the second half, when Max's character is starting to learn a few lessons, or supposed to be learning a few lessons, or he's having a few quiet moments with individual people. I did not care. I didn't care. And don't even get me started on his speech at the end of the film.
Oh,
The Rocky Four.
I've got it here. Terrible end speech. And I haven't even got any other notes in it. That's all.
Do you know the worst thing about that? You know the worst thing about that speech, right? He's giving that speech, right? And it's unfortunately it's a poorly written speech, right? But the worst thing about that speech is the cutaway to Perry, his best mate, and his best mate just goes to his missus. He's on a roll, and you're like, no, he ain't, mate. He ain't on a roll. He's on something.
We often have this conversation, right, about 80s characters, and we often mention one particular person who plays a lot of them, Bill Murray, where they have their lead character and they're an arse, but sometimes they're a likable arse. Sometimes they're not, but they have they have a moment where it's an epiphany, it's whatever the correct term would be, which brings that character round. And I maybe I missed it. I just didn't really see it in him.
I was going to ask you, boys, did you think that character learned anything in this film?
No, not really.
It's almost like, right, the Academy had to bend to his will. Because he always, in his uniform, he was always like messy dressed. He never did what they said. Even at the end of the film, he's setting fireworks off in the yard. So he never learned any lessons, as far as I was aware.
They would have broken him if that was in real life, wouldn't they?
But,
oh my word. Yeah. He would have been doing press-ups for bloody 23 hours of the day.
It seemed just sorry, Ev. I know we're going off on one year, but
I'll
let you come in now. It's interesting that you brought up Bill Murray, right? Or the characters that Bill Murray plays in quite a few of his films. They are somewhat likable. Now, I got no doubt that's due to how Bill Murray plays them, our opinion of Bill Murray, and also the script. Because for the most part, Bill Murray gets given good scripts, doesn't he? So I'm not going to hold those aspects against Keith David. I still wish it was him.
Keith.
Yeah. I'm not going to hold those aspects against Keith Gordon because he isn't Bill Murray. But no, you're not watching this film expecting him to be Bill Murray. But there's nothing in the I keep coming back to it. There's nothing in the first half that makes me want to like him. Nothing. And do you know the moment where him and Perry go their separate ways? Right? I honestly, for a moment, thought Max is another type of bully. Because he's only interested in Perry if Perry's his wingman or Perry's by the side of him all the time. Like he's egging Perry on to do stuff. He needs Perry to be there in order to do this. He couldn't be happy for Perry that he'd met this girl who seemed to like him and Perry wanted to be like, look, let's just get. Perry basically says, let's just get through this time in the academy, and then we can go back to what we were doing. He basically says that to him, and Max ain't having any of it. What type of mate is that?
I have an issue with the Perry character as well. I'm struggling to understand what he was or what he was trying to do. What was he? Because on the one hand, right, it's like he didn't want to be involved in any of the pranks, but then he'd be laughing at the next minute, and it just flitted back and forth. And I don't know whether that was the delivery. I don't know whether that was the way it was written. I struggled a little bit with it, and then don't know when he goes off and he tries to possibly for the girl, possibly to just survive, that he falls in line, so to speak. And then the fact that Max then is just being a bit of a dick to him, again, made me like him even less. That Max character.
Sorry,
Ev.
Ev, we taking here, but do you want to say
No,
something?
no.
There's got to be some
I-
favorite aspects, Ev. If you watched this as a kid, maybe you got something from it.
I
I have got a possible favorite aspect, but I'll let Ev go first.
All right. No. Well, yeah. I think the from what you're saying there, I think the character dynamic like between like Max and Perry, it's almost like I liken it a lot to Ferris Bueller and his mate Cameron, but the difference is that that Ferris actually likes Cameron, and it's just like the other two, you just think like Max has been a bit of a knob, and he doesn't like anyone, and he's just really insecure and stuff. Favorite aspects for me were probably the two songs that were mentioned that were in the film: the Talking Heads song and the Madonna song.
Oh, Talking Heads, but
Yeah,
that song is incredible.
it is. It's good, isn't it?
Do you know what I was thinking? I was like, how has this film got a song of that quality in it?
Yeah, I know. And the Madonna one.
Yeah, but it wasn't Madonna, was it? It was someone on the stage singing it, I think.
Was it? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought it was actually the Madonna.
Was that
recording.
at the like ball or whatever it was?
Yeah, it was at the
Yeah.
dance. So I think there was a band and a singer, and she was
Oh,
singing
okay.
the song. Still a great
Either
song, though.
Oh yeah.
I do have a favorite aspect.
Yeah.
And I quite like this about the movie. The fact that Perry has his girl, and we know who that is because we've done a movie with her in recently. Mac and Me. What's her
Tina
name?
Caspara.
Yeah.
Tina Caspari, sorry.
Very attractive lady. But I like the other aspect. You know the other female in it's Sergeant, what's her name? Andrea Pritchard. But she played by Dana Hill, right? And I quite like the fact that they gave that to and I'm going to sound quite mean, right? But she's short. She's probably she's not a typical sort of like Hollywood young starlet look about her. Let's put it that way. I quite like that.
Very, very polite.
I wonder where you were going then. Yeah, she. I quite like the fact it didn't give that traditional role to someone who wasn't necessarily the girl next door look.
It wasn't Kim Basinger or someone like that. Was it?
No. It was someone who, let's put it politely, someone who I'd expect to look in the army, like a female in the army.
Okay.
Might be digging a hole even more.
I'm telling you, just move on. Just move on.
but
Put down the
no,
face.
I quite like the fact. Yeah, it didn't give it to the girl next door. She had a relatively good part in it, and there was a, she got with the guy, if that makes any sense. And it's quite nice.
Well, I actually thought she was quite for as little as she was in there. She was quite an interesting character.
Oh, definitely. She died quite young, actually. That girl died in her 30s.
Really?
Dana Hill, or Dana Hill.
She was in she's in National Lampoon's Vacation, wasn't she?
Yeah, I'm Fallen Angel. But she's got a sort of face which I sort of recognize. She was also in Silence of the Heart with Charlie Sheen. Never heard of it.
So it actually brings me on to what I think could have been my favorite aspect, because I think if you'd scoop the Max character out, right, and not add him at all, number one, it would have been nowhere near as annoying, this film. But I think the most interesting plot, as hammy and as badly handled as it was between George Clooney and the guy who played his father, the son-father dynamic. I thought that could have been really interesting. And I also liked the romantic relationship between Perry, who has a stutter and is trying to get past the stutter and obviously finds it difficult to talk to girls and meet new people. I think a character like that going into an academy like this and then meeting a girl who seems to like him, but she's got a boyfriend, I think that could have been. I think you could have turned that into quite a sweet romantic comedy. But
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately, Max's annoying shadow is looming over everything in this film.
The stench of Mendelssohn just
Oh.
wafts over the film.
And
He
again,
put, that's
Sorry,
no,
what?
go on, go on. No, go on.
I was just going to say what I say normally on this podcast. I don't want to slag a film off. I don't like doing this about, actors, directors, films. I don't like doing it. It's hard work. Like, it's really hard making a film and making a good film. But unfortunately, I'm going to swear you, this film me off.
You can't beat that one out.
Are we allowed one?
Might have to just change it to fudge, as we said before.
Flip me off.
Do you know Perry? What's the actor who played Perry? So I had a look while I was researching the movie. What else he's been in? Because I know him for CSI, and he's in a movie called Uncle Saddam, which is I think I don't know if it's an actual movie or whether it's a documentary, but yeah. And if you look at the cast for that, it's got him, and then next to Saddam Hussein. So they've obviously used footage from I don't know what other TV
stock footage.
programs. Stock footage.
Yeah.
But
it's weird because I think the guy who plays Perry is actually quite a good actor because I used to watch. I don't know if Evan watched this. I used to watch a comedy show called Veronica's Closet.
Was that? I've heard of that. Was that with Christina Applegate?
No, that was with who's the lead actress? Kirstie Alley.
Oh no, I remember it. I've never seen it though.
And it was set in a fashion lingerie company in New York.
Mm.
And I don't ask me why, but when I was I don't know, in my teens or whatever, I was into all the American sitcoms. So I used to watch Friends, Frasier, Veronica's Closet came on. I watched that. I watched Ellen. I watched what's the one with Sybil, with Sybil Shepherd. I watched Ally McBeal. I used to watch all of it. You think I didn't have a girlfriend back then, didn't you?
I've just come across a film starring Wallace Langham or whatever his name is, who played Perry, and this is one that's gone under the radar, and that's The Invisible Kid. Who the lead character is played by the same guy who is the boy who could fly.
I've seen that.
Oh.
This is something we need to be putting on the podcast. I think.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
I think you recognize the cover straight away if you Google it.
Is it a white background with just like a hat and
one of those varsity jackets?
Am I going to get PTSD from Boy Who Could Fly if I watch this film?
Jay Underwood, his name is the guy who was in both of them.
Yes.
He was in Uncle Buck as well, of course, wasn't he?
Oh my God. I am prepared to watch The Invisible Kid because I just found out who's in it. And it's China Phillips, who was the singer in Wilson Phillips. And I had a major crush on her growing up.
No, I didn't realize it. Yeah, who's it? Rachel loves that song that they do. What's their famous song? Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh.
Great song, that. I'm gonna stamp it now. Banger. I'm gonna give it the banger stamp.
She was in Striptease as well. Who mentioned Striptease on here?
You did just now. You dirty dog.
Was it Adam who mentioned Striptease with?
It's got to be you because you always go on about boobs and things on this podcast.
Oh,
well, Andrew wouldn't let Striptease on you because it's not 80s boobs, it's 90s boobs.
It goes too far for me. It's only boobs I want to see. Don't want to see anything else.
Oh, right, okay. So you're not selective on the years of boobs?
Well, 80s definitely better.
Mm.
Come on, favorite scenes. What have you got?
I got nothing.
I've got nothing either. But I will do a shout out.
I'm still recommended after.
8 out of 10 if Adam was here. No, I will give a shout out to the guy who plays Perry. I think he plays the stutter really well.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah. No favorite scenes. I mean, the scene where Clooney gets drunk could have been so much better if Max wasn't there and someone else was there.
Oh, can I just say now? Sorry, even in this, I still like George Clooney.
He,
And
had,
now-
he has a meaty, and you mentioned it earlier, the relationship with his dad. Yeah, he has a really good sort of backstory potentially, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Mm.
And the
That's
fact
what I'm
that
saying about this
he's
film.
taking it, he's taking all that
That's
stuff.
That's what I'm saying about this film. This potential. There was potential with the film.
Solid name as well, Biff.
Yeah. You know, originally I thought he called him that after Back to the Future. I thought the guy was just joking, like Biff Tannen. And I was
What?
like, look at this arrogant git thinking he's Marty McFly.
What's Biff short for? It's got to be. It can't be a real name in the sense of.
It's short for Biff Follow the Muse.
No.
It's not Buford like in Buford Mad Dog Tanning, is it?
No, it might be.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google it now. What is
Biff Howard Tannen is his name. It says.
What, in Back to the Future?
Yeah. Maybe it is. What a weird first name. Actually, something else says Buford Biff Howard Tannen. So maybe it is.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right.
Well,
Dev.
Buford was his great granddad, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it does say that. Yeah, in this villains.fandom.com, I'm on.
Can I just say, you know how good a film is when we do a podcast, or how bad it is by how many other films we talk about.
Any other film?
This for me, right? And it depends when this podcast goes out, and I don't mind talking about it. But like, we've done potentially 3 bad movies in a row here,
Yeah.
and I'm willing us to do something good soon.
Have we actually done Back to the Future?
Yes,
Yeah, we haven't done the second one though.
we haven't done the second, no, the
Or
third.
the third.
God, I'm lost with the films we've done. There's so many.
We've been on for how many years now?
2.5 years.
Jesus.
And we still only got 4 listeners.
We had half a year off.
So we've done, I don't know, maybe 120 movies.
That's a lot.
No, we're in the. Have we done 120? I
don't.
thought we'd done more than that.
And I got a job for you.
Yeah,
Should you choose to accept it.
124. Ev.
You need to go back through the films and see how many each of us have recommended and not recommended. And I'm willing to stake my place on this podcast that Evan has recommended 85%, and you have recommended 90 to 95%.
No.
I reckon there's only about 5 to 10 films that you said no, I can't recommend that.
Yeah, but he hasn't even said no. He's just been on the fence. He's just said, right, I'm on the fence.
Yeah. We all know on the fence means, yeah, watch it if it's Andrew.
And I'll go back because ultimately I've only got to listen to the last 5 minutes of each of them. Although saying that,
I reckon you should do a tally. Do a tally.
although saying that, 124 times 5 minutes is quite a lot of time.
Can we not get like the 4 remaining listeners we have to do it? Can one of the 4 just do that?
Go back.
I wouldn't put that on. I wouldn't put that on some poor soul.
There's no guarantee that those 4 listeners have got to the end of every podcast anyway.
I know.
So to
Yeah.
put them through it again.
I suppose, yeah.
Right. Has anyone got any favourite scenes, did we say? Any favourite aspects more?
No.
Anything else? Because we jumped around a bit on this.
Yeah.
Come on, any more changes? I can actually, to see my notes, I got one. A chemistry teacher. That character is absolutely shocking. What are they trying to do with that?
That's out of a police academy film.
Yeah.
I just forgot my favorite aspect. I can't believe I forgot about this. I'm so sorry, boys.
Go on.
You know the headmaster.
Oh,
at
yeah.
school?
Yeah.
That comb over is the greatest comb over I've ever seen in a film.
Dick Van
That is my
Patten
favourite
is his name.
aspect.
Dick Van Patten. Yeah.
Amazing.
See, you're
Amazing.
loving him now. You didn't love him in Spaceballs, did you?
All right, yeah.
Ah.
Did you have the comb over in Spaceballs?
I think so. You must have done.
He
Yeah,
must
yeah,
have done quite a few what's his name? Mel Brooke films then, because he's in also in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah, he plays the abbot. Good morrow. Good morrow.
That's a Bobby Charlton comb over, though, isn't it?
That is a
Ah.
good one, though.
It's all I could see when I was watching that scene. Sorry.
Oh, I may as well do another change. The like the war game scenes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like me and you went up the fields behind my house and just did some filming. It's quite amateurist.
Yeah. Do you know that guy? Do you know the aggro guy that was rooming with Perry?
Oh,
Yeah,
Kevin,
yeah.
or whatever
The
it
one
is.
that Dana Hill's character fell in love
Like-
with. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there was no explanation about why he hated the Russians and why he had to win.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
But it's always the Russians.
Yeah.
Always the Russians. They
I'm going
couldn't
to say
think of
now,
it.
right? Do you know when they played the Russian national anthem? I immediately wanted to turn the film off and watch Rocky 4. That's all I thought about for the last half hour when the Russians turned up was, I want to watch Rocky 4 right now.
You want to see Sly and Dolph dripping in sweat, giving each other the eye.
I'm
Across
sorry,
the
boys.
ring.
I can't believe I'm going to ask this. Have we done Rocky 4?
No, we've only done the first one.
Right. We're doing Rocky 4.
I'm surprised Ev hasn't gone through the cast a bit more because there's the one guy in it. He plays like the typical foreigner, doesn't speak English the best. And is it Danny Nuki or something like that his name is?
Oh, is that the guy?
He's in the
Oh,
Rock.
Nucci.
Nucci, yeah. Sorry, yeah, my pronunciation of that. But he's
Oh,
in the
I'm
Rock.
Sorry, but I don't know how to pronounce it particularly.
He's got one of those faces where you just recognize him from various films.
Oh, have you seen his filmography? He's in loads. He was in Explorers as well, boys.
Oh, he was in Eraser, one of Ev's
Crimson
favorite
Tide.
90s Arnie films.
Yeah, Crimson Tide, The Rock, Eraser, Titanic.
Eraser. I've never even seen Eraser.
No, you used to have it on DVD, didn't you? I thought
No. I was
in
End of
the-
Days.
End
Yeah,
of Days.
he had.
Right.
Yeah.
Is End of Days the one where Gabriel Byrne has a threesome with a mum and a daughter?
Yes.
He's the devil, isn't he?
Yeah, and he seduces the mum and the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great scene.
I wonder why.
He's in Explorers, one of Ev's favorite kid films.
I just read it out, man.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
Yeah.
He's also in Alive.
You were on that End of Days scene, weren't you, man?
Yeah. I was
Ah.
daydreaming about that.
And he was Leo's mate in Titanic.
Oh, boys, you're killing me. I've said Titanic.
Oh, sorry.
Nobody
sorry.
listens to Brock.
No one listens to you. No one listens to you. Hold on. Has anyone seen Crimson Tide? He was in that.
Oh, Ev, I'm gonna put my head through this bloody monitor now.
Sorry. I'm
Ev, and
I'm
he was
still
in The
fascinated
Rock.
by the. I'm still fascinated by the Gabriel Byrne talk that he was just doing. He was just doing it then.
You know what you should do, man? You
Yeah.
should. When you edit this together, you should cut out what I actually said, so that it makes it sound like I did. Like you were coming up with.
Hold on. He was in Magnum PI as well. Have that.
Yeah, okay, you could have that one.
Magnum PI.
I'm surprised he didn't say he was in Combat Academy.
He
Yeah, he's in
was- did he?
Combat Academy. It's one of my favorite films growing up. Right. I haven't got any more changes. And has anyone got any more before we wrap this up?
Yeah, the only change I would make is that I wouldn't watch this film again.
I definitely wouldn't. I reckon if we hadn't started off Prog with a damning of this film,
Yeah.
We've swayed Ev too early.
You
I
reckon?
reckon. Yeah, I reckon we have.
I don't know. He's got a bit of backbone to him lately. I've noticed.
I think I saw him off camera ripping up his notes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought I saw him puffing his chest out a little bit over the last couple of weeks.
That's just my ever expanding gut and my moobs. That's what it is. And the camera angle doesn't do it good either. So,
This film is so bad, I couldn't even find any budget and box office for it.
Well, it was a TV movie, wasn't it?
That was it really?
Yeah, it was.
I did not know that.
I didn't know. I watched the trailer before I watched it, and I knew I wasn't going to like this film straight away.
They did have one of those best friends, Max and Perry, are a pair of misfit high school teenagers who always cause trouble.
It had that typical sort of 80s voiceover guy and upbeat music to start with.
It didn't have the in a world.
No, Red or whatever his name is. Red thingamajig. All right, come on then. Would you recommend, Ev?
No.
That's the only one we needed to know, wasn't it?
Yeah. Me and Prog were very clear at the very, very beginning. I would never, ever recommend this movie. It is a poor man's Police Academy. And that's saying something.
What if someone, right, had wanted to continue their Police Academy viewing and they'd watched them all, but needed something new, and also had watched every George Clooney film but didn't know about this one? Would you recommend it then?
I'd only recommend it as a prequel to Police Academy.
Right, okay.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd rather recommend Mission to Moscow.
I haven't seen that.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, it would. It would. At least they got, I don't know. I was trying to think of what characters are in it. But yeah, I would. And that's how bad this film is.
I haven't seen that for years. Let's not put that in the booby films. The booby movies.
Mission to Moscow.
So obviously I'm on holiday at the moment, guys. So I was unable to watch Combat Academy review, but I'm able to jump on really quick for the wheel.
Wait a minute now. Look at that background.
I'm on a beach.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I'm in Crete at the moment.
Riddle.
I don't know if those trees behind you are Crete trees.
Oh, they're Crete trees. They are Crete trees.
Yeah, I thought you were in Llandudno or something like that, buddy.
No. I'm in Crete at the moment, which is why I was unable to.
Aberon.
I'm surprised you didn't say I'm on holiday in Ebervale.
But dedicated to the podcast, I jumped on for the wheel. But did you all enjoy Combat Academy? Because I haven't heard the episode yet, and I don't know what anyone's opinion was.
We said it was the best film we've ever seen, and we all recommend.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
And we can't wait for Combat Academy too.
So we got, first off, I haven't shared the screen yet. First off, we've got a new booby film this time as well. So let's go into it. So our new booby film is House of the Dead.
Is this the Uwe Boll film?
Yep, the Uwe Boll or U-Ball or whatever his name is. But I thought I'd pick it because it's very action-packed. It's terrible. And also it's got a nice video game link, which I know Andrew's always sort of chasing after as well. So and it's also, crucially, it's only like 80 minutes long. So Andrew, what's your two films?
Right. Here we go. So last time I picked Get Carter. I'm trying to stick with that theme of like 60s, 70s, try and go a bit older. I'm going to go with Rollerball.
Oh,
very interesting.
James Caan. Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'm going to go for a slightly left field one. Slightly a little bit more modern. Enemy at the Gate. Or Enemy at the Gate? Gate, I think it is.
Good film.
The Luke Wilson film? No. That's
Jude Law.
That's it. Yeah, sorry, the sniper one, is it?
Yeah. I love a sniper movie.
Okay. Frog?
I'm going to go Ronin.
Ooh. Oh, it's one of my choices. That was a while ago.
And having watched Page Master, it got me thinking about films I watched when I was a kid. So I'm going to choose Flight of the Dragon.
I don't know if I remember that one, Prog. So part of me hopes it comes up.
Evan,
All right. I'm going to go for The Paper.
Yeah,
So
it's back.
yes.
back
Back.
in rotation.
And I'm going to go with Death Proof.
Ooh, wow.
The Quentin
wow.
Tarantino film. Yeah.
It's almost as if some people might think we were talking about that the other day, Evan.
I know, yeah.
I'm going to go with Full Metal Jacket,
Ooh.
Choice.
and I'm going to go with The Elephant Man again because it was my choice last time I was on, and I kind of want that to come up because obviously you guys slated Blue Velvet, and I kind of want you to watch a more watch a different David Lynch film you might think differently of. Anyway, let's try it out.
Wait a minute, whoa.
Hold on.
We got another
What?
one.
Oh shit!
Full
So,
start. Full
should we
start.
just full start? That doesn't count. Doesn't count. Sorry.
We're just checking if it spun round.
Oh,
That's
Death
all.
Proof. Yeah, that's it. That's it. All gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Ad, you've just removed Death Proof.
Oh, Death Proof's gone, is it?
Yeah, you've removed it, yeah. And
Okay.
also, it's Elephant Man, not the elephant.
What we'll do, we'll edit that part out of the podcast and we'll
No,
start
it's
again.
staying in.
Oh, it's not staying in. That's good. We can't have a blunder like that in the Wheel of Doom.
I'd get man on the end of elephant, but
Not leave it. I want to watch whatever film is called The Elephant.
Okay, what is the extra film then? We had an extra viewer film. You said.
So we got what was the other one? We had Page Master, which we've seen, but what was the other one?
True Romance.
Yeah,
True
we
Romance,
said
that's it, sorry, yeah. And,
That's already in
sorry,
there.
I can't see. I haven't got my glasses on.
You said
yeah.
you said
so
there was another. You said there was another guy that gave us.
there is. Yeah, there and hot off the press. Oh, friend of the pod and friend of us, Owen Curtis, has come up with a banger. I must admit, in Flash Gordon.
oh Jesus,
alive.
that's a
That's-
booby film.
We've got two booby films in the running in the mix
Oh,
now. We've got two booby films. We're going live with two booby films. Let's do it.
That's not a booby film, surely. Oh, The Paper.
God.
Oh,
How excited
Mike's
he got.
choice finally came up.
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket. Oh.
There we are. Right. Podcasts come out every Wednesday. Check out our social media. And if you want us to do a film in the future, please let us know. Cheers out.